Hello, what's up to my 17 subscribers? I can't even believe I have 17. Like I said, if I get 500,000, some big number like that, some milestone number, then I'll give away an NBA jersey. It'll be a nice one. Won't be no DH gate, won't be no wish. It'll be some real stuff. So I need some more subscribers and we can make something happen. I do appreciate the 17 I got though. I didn't even think this day would come, to be honest with you. So yeah, subscribe, like, all that stuff people always tell y'all to do. Go ahead and do it. Anyways, let's get into this Phoenix and Nuggets elimination game. So after Phoenix delayed the inevitable, the story of Game 6 in Phoenix was a blowout. This game started off with some familiar vibes we saw a year ago, where a team led by an Eastern European took a big lead on Phoenix, and that lead never went away. For starters, I know Ayton didn't play, along with Chris Paul, who was aiming to come back this game, but it looked like Phoenix knew it was over, and their play really showed that. Let me start with Ayton. He can say whatever he wants in his post-game and exit interviews about wanting to be in Phoenix, but it's very clear he either isn't too interested in playing intense basketball or he doesn't want to play in Phoenix. I'm gonna go ahead and give him the benefit of the doubt. He just doesn't want to be in Phoenix, in my opinion. If you're in a playoff game where you just won 2 games and your star is trying to communicate with you and you don't look engaged and you walk away from the huddle, it's very clear, in my opinion, that you have checked out. Once it was announced that he was out for Game 6, a lot of people's heads went to the same place. A lot of people thought this was him using any excuse he had to not have to play and just be done with the series. I'm not going to go so far and accuse him of that, since as we've seen this past year, ribs are a tricky issue to deal with, but I'm not going to completely absolve him here because his track record does not help, like him quitting on the team last year in Game 7. I honestly think he will clearly welcome a change of scenery, but it won't be easy for Phoenix to trade him as many people think it is. You're investing a lot of cap space in a guy with a contract that has multiple years on it, who has shown he is willing to not listen to his coaching staff and is willing to quit on this team. I do think there will be a team out there that will take a chance on his talent, but what Phoenix may get in return may not be as much as they'd like. What I did not write in this script for this video is, now that a certain someone is gone, I do think that Ayton, there is a chance he may stay, because I feel like maybe a lot of his issue was with that certain someone, but we'll see. I don't know for sure. Now, Chris Paul, I think he is also out of Phoenix. I do think it'll be easier to trade him. He's an expiring contract and his deal is only partially guaranteed. That's basically begging somebody to take your deal. I think it'll be easier to get rid of him, but the issue for a contending team trading away what I would consider a contending piece is what you're going to get back in return. It's hard to upgrade when you're trading away pieces that don't really have much upside, and you're trading it to teams that need guys with upside if you want their contending pieces in return. But regardless, I could see him being waived and joining a contender on an exception in the offseason. I mean, he really wants that ring and he knows he doesn't have much time left to get it, so I expect him to seek out a contending situation opposed to just going and trying to get his money. Now that we have some off-season stuff out the way, let's talk about the actual game. Denver has been battling fake first seed allegations all year, and what better way to beat those than packing up a team that everybody had as a favorite in February. I know people are going to say they weren't healthy, but the Nuggets took care of business in games 1 and 2. At the end of the day, they did what they were supposed to do. Even when they let up on the road, they came home and took care of the Suns, then went on the road and closed them out. It honestly doesn't matter much for the conference finals, since the Nuggets will have home court advantage anyway. So if they're a team that can take care of their business at home, then it doesn't really matter. So Jokic has been playing out his dang mind, but his supporting cast, they've come alive as well. There's been games where Jamal Murray has it going. There's been games where Michael Porter Jr. has it going, and he's shown that his scoring ability is legit. And there's even role players like Bruce Brown doing his job, and KCP getting it done when he needs to be there. KCP was amazing in Game 6. In his post-game interview, Jokic himself was saying that, well, KCP is a champion. That's what he brings to this team. He's been in the finals before, so hopefully he can play a part into helping bring that team to their first NBA finals. Their whole offensive game was very balanced, basically what you would expect when a team is basically up 30 for most of the game. On the other hand, we have Phoenix, and they rely a lot on isolation basketball, and while they're willing to make the right pass a lot of the time when they get double team or the defense is recovering, they still show that they are an isolation focused team. If Kevin Durant plays as bad as he did in that first half, they basically don't have much of a chance if their defense isn't locked down, which is not something that they're known for. Another factor is how much their stars were playing. I had mentioned this in another video, but Booker and KD already had injury issues this season. Them playing such heavy minutes night after night with 1 day rest, it really wouldn't be atypical if they were tiring themselves out for playing. They're trying to play 20 plus games in this playoff run, so playing 40 minutes a night, that's just not going to work out. The team is so top heavy, they're going to have to find some some role players to alleviate the minutes for their main two guys, especially if guys like CP3 and Ayton aren't even going to play. I had initially said I thought Denver would win this series in 6 or 7. I do think the talent of Booker and KD combined is able to keep you in a series if those guys are engaged, because we know KD can kind of just be like, whatever. But it was clear the Nuggets are way deeper. I think the Nuggets see their chance. They're healthy. They're tired of people trying to act as if they aren't a legit contender. And I think whoever comes out of the Lakers-Warriors series, now we know who's coming out of that series. I actually typed this script up 2 days ago, but here I am speaking it after the Lakers decimated the Warriors last night. The Nuggets will see it as a chance to get some payback because they've lost to both of those teams before. After those two teams spend so much emotional energy on that series, I can see Denver really motivated to go in and really put the Serbian hammer down on whichever one of those teams advances, especially in a year where I'm sure Jokic kind of feels like he was robbed of an MVP, even though he always tries to act like, oh, I don't care about the MVP race. I mean, I feel like he's like, yeah, I was putting in work this year. I deserve something. So Phoenix has a new owner, and I'm sure he's going to try and put his imprint on the team immediately this offseason, which new owners are known to do. Whether that's a coaching change, a roster change, or whatever it may be, I expect Phoenix to make some moves, stay in that contending conversation, especially while they have the opportunity of a roster with KD and Book on it. Hey, this is me from the future. Monty Williams got fired today, so I don't know who their next coach is going to be, but look for them to find somebody different, I guess. I mean, Monty, he was a good coach. I don't really see much they can do to upgrade unless they just somehow get the cream of the crop, but you know, it is what it is. You got to have somebody take the fall sometimes, and like I said, it's a new owner. He's going to want to have his new coach there. While this series wasn't as compelling narrative-wise as some other second-round series in the West, I think overall we can say that we saw some good basketball here, and let's see if Nuggets can continue their wave into the conference finals. I mean, I don't think it'll be easy for them, but I do see a scenario where Denver, that, you know, they're locked in and they're engaged, they can really take care of business, and conference finals could be easy for them, but I do think they'll have a little bit of a fight trying to make it to their first NBA finals. Once again, you know, the usual: subscribe, get a nice jersey. It's not going to be that DH gate. I promise you. I would never lie. I'm a trustworthy person, so just trust me. All right. Thank y'all.